Hello, welcome to Animal Audit Corner. As you can see today, we are in the kitchen. When you're escaping a cult, not leaving, escaping a cult, let's just face it, it is what it is. You get your aid from the MJR Aftermath Foundation and the SPTB Foundation to help you get to get back on your feet. You got your job, but there's this one small detail that you need to order to survive besides having those things, and it's learning how to cook. And as you know, we're here every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, not Friday, Saturday and Sunday in the kitchen where I'll be cooking. That's how I want to contribute to help everybody get back on their feet from exiting the cult, especially Scientology. Now, if you didn't escape the cult, of course you can join in on the fun. But when you get out of the cult, some people don't know how to cook. Or maybe they did it for the cult and don't let other people cook. However, can't drag this on forever. Today, we're going to make Armenian fried zucchini. Ooh, I forgot my pan. Hold on. All right. First, you're going to need a couple of zucchinis. I'm the only one, so this is what I'm doing. You're going to need a couple of zucchinis. Now, depending how many people are in your kitchen, say like 5 to 10. Then you're going to need about 5. Okay. You cut both ends and you cut it into a wedge. It's preferable to leave the skin on, but I guess if you want to take it off, that's fine. But generally, we leave it on. Cut it into 2 after you cut your wedge. All right. Then you cut it in another wedge. And then in another. So it just continues on. Then you take your next one, do it the exact same way. Now, let's see, what should I talk about today? Alrighty. And if there are tail ends left, maybe it's not such a good idea to toss them, since nowadays technology found out that these throwing away food instantly now would cause holes in the ozone layer, according to researchers. All right, so we leave these out. Don't forget. Let's see here. Now, I hope all you sent well wishes to Club Brain Fog, because, of course, she hurt herself about possibly 3 weeks ago. And she might still have that bruise. So pop in and give her a well wishes to her. Okay. And we haven't heard from Aaron Smith Levin about that arrest he made, whether or not there's going to be a trial. But I assume it didn't happen since Scientology is around, because they're usually the menace to society that needs to be put on trial. So I don't think he's going to be put on trial. The DA probably would think it's a waste of time, because usually with Scientology's involved, they tend to drop the case, especially if they're in Los Angeles. So it doesn't really look like there's going to be a trial. Of course, Aaron never mentioned it. He probably just brushed it off, which is understandable. You don't give it a second thought. So it just looks that way. Keep on making the wedges. If it's left over, use it anyway. And this is a recipe that my mother used when I was growing up. All right. And have I been given my public speaking in the public works meeting in Los Angeles? Lately, I haven't really got back on since I've been hacked, but I'm trying to get back on. And the police commissioners meeting is deliberately snubbing some people, and I'm one of them. So, and plus, I heard it in the grapevine that they don't follow their own rules. So, yeah, it's a thing. It is what it is. And we would love to think all police officers are great, but there is some that are corrupt. And of course, it has the tendency of being a total surprise to us, since they are there to actually serve the public's best interest. But of course, some police officers don't. And yes, it's sad. Okay, so you do the same thing to the next zucchini. Cut it in a wedge. All righty. Keep cutting. All right. By the way, those of you who actually click onto my channel, thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate your support. Now I'm on to 109 views. So tell your friend. Get in touch with Buffer Squirrel and tell her to put me on. So. And I hope she does, because she's missing out on a lot if she doesn't, because I got all the resources you need. Of course, if you need any resources too, I actually have it. Okay. I have resources to mental health facilities, primary health doctors, and dentists, because let's face it, Scientologists don't have the best teeth. I mean, they're deprived. Of course, when you came out, you were sort of deprived of all the necessities you need, especially when you were a woman. You don't have these feminine products that you need when you're having monthly billing. We know what that is. Yeah. David Miscavige. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, yeah, he is a piece of work. And why is Tom Cruise his best friend? I don't know. And of course, he does worship him. And you know that cults worship the leader like there were a god. And that's what the way Tom Cruise treats him. All right. Okay, we're going to try and wedge this. Hope I cut myself. All right. All right, there we go. I'm going to take the second one, do the same way. Put it in a wedge, like so. Hey, this one's pretty good. This is the way my mom used to slice it. Okay, here's another one. This is the way it's supposed to look. All right. Yep, this is my mom's recipe. So, of course, I try to actually remember every single ingredient that she puts in a recipe. And then each and every time it pops into my mind, I just put it on the internet without giving it a try. And usually I keep my fingers crossed when it comes to that. All right. Okay. Of course, let's see, what else is there in the world of the cult and Scientology? Yeah, and you know what? Tom Cruise, he's a great actor. He's a brilliant actor, but it looks like he's not thinking realistically on who he's hanging out with. So it looks like, I'm sorry to tell you, Tom Cruise fans, he's evil. I mean, David Miscavige totally corrupted him. So, and Aaron Smith Levin, according to him, is a victim and the perpetrator. Of course, to us, he does look like the perpetrator, even though he's brainwashed. And before he died, L. Ron Hubbard, he wanted everybody to be exactly like him. And you recall that Aaron Smith Levin told Melissa and Sam that he wanted everybody to be just like him. Let me tell you, people, if we were like one another, it'd be a boring world. We all have to be different. We can't always be the same. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, okay. Okay. All right. Now, after you're done, okay, when you're done, I'm going to toss this out. When you're done, of course, you know what? Let me get my water. All right. All righty. Now, use half a cup of water and put it in a plate like this one. So it stay in the dish. Oh, I have to be careful when I actually. All right, there we go. Okay. Now, yeah, just in case. All right. Now, 1 cup of flour. Yeah, 1 cup of flour. Now, this is a vegan recipe. Do they actually use eggs? I think so. It's possible. Okay. So you use 1 cup of flour. Okay. All right. Now let's see. And then you add a half a cup of oil. Yes, we're gonna fry it. I'm sorry, everybody. That's how the Armenian recipe works. Can you put it in the oven? Well, not really, because it'll get all soggy. Unless said otherwise. Okay, so then, yeah, it might not be good for your cholesterol. Check with your doctor first. And I don't really fry anything that often. So, but on occasion, every once in a blue moon, I do. Okay. All right. There we go. There's your half cup oil. Of course, like I said, wipe it off as soon as you use. Oh, excuse me. As soon as you use it. All righty. Okay. Now, as you know, I don't cook during the week. Because I just didn't want to leave a mess all the time. And I am a messy cook, so I just decided only to do it on the weekends. And now, since I've been on the YouTube for the SPTV community, and I want to get on the directory of the SPTV network, but someone is not putting me on there. So it's a disservice, but not that I want to be part of the infight. It's just driving me crazy. So wiped it off. All right. Are they deliberately doing it? You know what? I don't know Buffer Score or Aaron Smith-Levin. So, okay. Now, I'm going to put this away for now. All right. All right. Okay. Now, turn it on. Turn it on medium heat. Do not turn it up all the way. So, there. So, and this, I know I sound like the CD is playing the same song. And yesterday we called it a broken record. Today, I don't think they're using that phrase anymore. I haven't heard that statement in years since downloads came around. So let's see. Yeah, I'm downloading the same tune. And probably driving everybody crazy. But this oven really does cook so fast. All right. So, all right. And not only you put 1 cup of flour, you put 1/4 cup of salt. Okay. There we go. There it is. Just mix it around. But am I frugal? No. I think that would be Sam's and Jenna's department, but not mine. Of course, you know she has 2 kids that she has to feed, so it's not a matter of choice either. So, okay. Alrighty. Now, I do have more views than some people, like the 2 ladies with the dogs. I forget their name. Yeah, they're on it, but not me, and I got more views than they do. Of course, there are some people in there with views higher than mine, and there are people in that directory that have views less than mine. So should I be on it? Yes. righty. Okay. All right. All right. It's not heated yet. Let's see. And now it has, well, it's a huge network of people. It's a huge community. SPTV directory is a huge community. And I'm supposed to be 251. Is there 152? I don't know. Is there 153? I don't know. But she's nitpicking, so I don't know. I personally don't know her. I don't know what she's actually thinking, or I just don't know her personally. Is she a nice person? I don't know. Now Cheryl thinks Aaron's a nice guy. Okay, that might be the case. I don't know him. So you're going to have to go with who you know, not what you know or what you see. Okay. All right, looks like it is ready. Take your zucchini. Of course, I'm going to need okay, let's go. You're going to need a tongue to flip it over too. Oh my gosh. There. All right. Take your zucchini. Oh, wait. Yeah. Take your zucchini, dip it in the water. Of course, I'm not going to use eggs because it has too much cholesterol. I don't want my cholesterol to go up, although I do have the oil in the pan, which doesn't help. But at the same time, I don't deep fry everything that often. I do it on occasions, every once in a blue moon. But however, dip it in. Okay. You dip it in the flour. Now, okay. And then you take the next one, dip it in the flour. Now, I'm going to put these all in at the same time. Now, is there a lot happening on SPTV? Yes. I think we're all complaining too much. But you know what? It is what it is. And yeah. Now, I didn't want to fall into that category, but I did. Don't know why, but I did. Oh, no. I did not soak it, I don't think. Don't think I soaked it. I don't know. So, of course, all you know that I decided to come out personally. It's a personal choice I made about myself to tell everybody about my ADHD. I mean, I sort of not recalling whether or not I dipped that one in. So, of course, you know, Scientology is against psychiatry, and yeah, and it's due because of L. Ron Hubbard's beef with psychiatry. That goes a long way. Yeah. And that's why they're against them, because you all know that L. Ron Hubbard was laughed out of the room due to that ridiculous device of his, which is the. And of course, people are dying left and right because of their own mental illness. There's Whitney Mills, and Kyle Brennan died due to the fact that his father locked his medication in the hood of his car. Now, he didn't intend to actually not take his medication. It's because that Kyle's father took his medication and locked it in the back of his car. And there was Lisa McPherson that also had a mental health issue. She died in the hands of Scientology. Now, yeah, it is something. It is horrible. And there are more people in there with mental health issues. And of course, some are going to have problems with mobility, like Natalie Webster came to the revelation of her having problems in mobility because of the brainwashing. Okay. Yeah. And sad enough, if you don't get your mental health treated like everybody in Scientology doesn't, then you're going to run into problems. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. There's another one. And I'm going to put the next one in. And then you use the tongs when you flip them over. So, of course, not every celebrity there is, even though it's celebrity driven, wants to join. Before Elvis Presley died, he came so close to joining Scientology. He found out that they wanted him to pay a fee, and he said, "You know what? Forget it. I'm not giving you your money." He's the smartest one. I think he probably was resilient. I don't know. But he was a heavy believer in God, which is great. Do I believe in God? Yes, I do. But I also believe in this earth and other peaceful gods. I mean, they're not going to all be evil. So, and I love the earth. That's the best thing you can preserve in the world is this planet. So recycle and don't use so much water. Now, Scientology actually used billions gallons of water. And you've seen the fact that they used up 100,000 gallons of water, according to Henry. And I think that's a foolish attempt to get even with protesters. They did it last week when they dumped water all over the protesters. Police did not do anything about it. And it wasn't Aaron Smith-Levin's fault at all. And the police arrested the wrong guy. They were actually being stupid when he arrested them. Yes, go ahead, arrest people. But actually, if you're corrupt, but I'm not going to accuse every single police officer of being corrupt, because guess what? Police officers are there to serve the best interests of the public. Not a certain group, not one person's, everyone's. Okay. All right, now, oh geez. All right, now I hope I'm not talking about the same thing, but okay. Now, take your zucchini, stick it in the oil, stick it in the pan, excuse me. Go. Middle. All right. Then you have it brown on each side, then flip it over. All right, and then when you actually done frying it, you stick it on a bunch of paper towels to actually soak up the oil. Okay. Now, keep putting it in. Now, you just got out of the cold and you need to learn how to cook. That's the thing. I mean, they could actually only had one person cook. Now, I don't know what they did in there, but they have some people cook, and it sounded like they had some people cook and some people not cook. So this is where, according to Aaron Smith-Levin, the blue buildings in the headquarters of Scientology have people working and living where they are. And they have poor slave wages that's under $1. Now, you cannot survive off of that. Now, anyone can make more than that amount. Me, I don't have much, and even I have more than they do. So, the cult is not a good idea. Of course, all cults are, including Jehovah's Witnesses. They think they're not a cult, but they are. Now, Christian Science Monitor is. And, oh, yeah, right. Do they originally use eggs? No, but I'm not. So, dip it in the water. But just in case in eggs, next time if I need to dip something, I'm going to use flax seeds. Of course, usually grounded up flax seeds would take a place of an egg. 1 tablespoon replaces an egg. So in case you're not a vegan and you're out of eggs and you have flax seeds available, there it is. Just ground it up in your coffee grounder, and you can use it like that. Now, if you need a place to go and you just escaped the cult, Clubhouse International helps people with mental illness find jobs. So I'll put that in the directory as soon as possible. Now, do I put the source of information on everyone? I am trying, because usually if I come up with something, I don't always put in the other information, which I should, even though I have them there now, because sometimes when I actually put sources of information in, okay, oh, this is looking good. Okay. All right. Aftermath Foundation, in honor of Michael J. Render, who also escaped from Scientology, which is a cult. So now there are celebrities that got out, but unfortunately they can afford whatever they have because, let's face it, they're wealthy. Now, I'm gonna actually, now, am I gonna cut up more? I hope not. So I actually made recipes for today, but I just didn't want to use them. But because you know what, it's hot. Am I hot now? No. And all right. So we're gonna check to see if we need to flip that over. Let's check it. All righty. Okay, I think just a tad more. All right. It is a little brown, but with me, I like everything well done. So, all right. Yeah, you need to actually eat to survive. We all know that. Everybody on this green earth knows it. So, of course, when you escape a cult, guess they only have, and they run, Scientology runs their organization like it was the military. Does the military know about it? It's possible. But you're not supposed to impersonate a military person. It's against the law. But yeah, there is corruption. And of course, Scientology's having everybody look the other way while they commit a crime. Now, if it was a regular person or La Cosa Nostra, they would be put on trial. And if they get found guilty, they go to prison. These guys actually get away with it. Why? Because of some law enforcement. Not all, some. Yeah, sometimes the corruption just is unbelievable. Yes, it is a shocker when it's actually them. It is what it is. So, all right, we're going to check. Okay. All right. Okay, the other ones are not done. But the ones that are by the heat aren't. Okay, so we have to put this in the middle. All right. Those have to cook, of course. But now what else is there? Now, Mimi Rogers and Leah Remedy, as you know, Leah Remedy's made it know she's not in Scientology anymore. I think she rather jump in to a lake with a live plant that will pull you under than to go back. It looks that way. And of course, just recently, Scientology reapplied for the street closure and asking to actually just give them the streets. According to Aaron Smith Levin. But they don't have a just cause to just ask the street. They just don't want anyone on it, especially protesters, which in fact is the reason why that whole town is dead. It's due because of David Miscavige's beef with everybody. He doesn't want to talk to anyone who is not a Scientologist. This is according to Aaron Smith Levin. So he managed to push everybody off. He had OSA push everybody off. And now the entire town's dead. And of course, I told you to actually jam up all the emails from Clearwater. And now now you won't have to, I'm not going to make you, but it's a good idea to actually get on the corruption in the LAPD and Clearwater, load up the email, overwhelm it, so they can finally get justice with Scientology, especially David Miscavige. Oh my gosh. All right. Are those ready? Let's see. Yep, it's ready. We'll flip it over. And after it's done, put it in the paper towel to have it soak up all the oil that's on there. Now, of course, you know, I never fry food. That's not what I do. All right. All right. Now, we all know fall is coming up next month. And I will have great apple recipes for the fall. And other great fall recipes. Some of them are going to be Armenian recipes and Middle Eastern recipes. So, and of course, you know, Nora's Greek. And we're actually going to have Greek food. Speaking of Greek, this is usually served with yogurt. Ugh. So, but however, there are yogurt substitutes if you don't want dairy. There's soy yogurt and the nut yogurt. But however, it doesn't look like a Whole Foods is covering the soy yogurt anymore, because the last time I checked, one container of soy yogurt costed $12. And you know, today, yogurt is high in price. All right. You know what? I keep saying I want to bring on somebody from the SPTV community and to get them to cook in their kitchen. But so far, I only got one person. She hasn't contacted me. I keep trying to contact her, but I keep texting her because I'm not going to call Texas. Forget it. Maybe during the weekend, I don't know. But usually I text the person when I want them on the show. So I'm trying with that one person. let me try Club Brain Frog. Does anyone know her name? Probably not. I understand why. All right, it's done. So we put it on the paper towel. Let me show you. Now, they don't make paper towels as they're used to, since some of them are smaller pieces. That's the way they're making it now. But in the 70s and 80s, the sheets were bigger. So they reduced it and had it in the middle. Why? I don't know. Do they want to charge more? Are they worried about the environment? That I don't know. But it looks like it's going to stay that way. But some companies actually do have the full sheet, not to have a sheet. Okay, there it is. And then you pat it. Okay. Pat each zucchini as you go along so it can soak up all of the oil. Okay. Now, alrighty. Does Jenna have great recipes? I would think so. But let's see. Sam have great recipes? I heard his cookies are great. So, and now, I don't know about you, but I miss Natalie. So, yeah, she hasn't been on lately. She's been on less because of the job she has. So she went back and got her GED, which is great. And I guess she must have gotten a degree of some kind. Because, all right. Oh, there's so much flour in this oil. So I'm going to put this in bit by bit. Now, remember what I told you. Do not dump any oil into your sink. That's not what everybody does. Of course, some of you escape the cult and is trying to adjust to leave them freely, including learn the necessities that you need to actually survive. And cooking is one of them. So, dip it in. And do I want some of Sam's recipes? Yeah. Hopefully they're healthier. Is it healthier dipping in this? No. But however, I do it on occasion. Okay. Another one. Now this is my mother's recipe. Of course, my mother passed away in October of 2008. My dad passed away in October 23rd, I think. Now, when I was raised, he had a tougher hand than my mom. Even though, yes, in the 70s when I was a child, yeah, you were spanked. My mother definitely spanked me and my brother. But now, they have revelations or proof now that spanking is child abuse. Oops. Okay, let me see here. I need to dip it in. Okay, dip it in to your water and then put it into the plate of flour. Okay. And we've been on for about a couple of hours now. Or, no, 1 hour. Now, okay. Then you dip the next one into your water. Now, can you use it in the oven? No, because it'll be all soggy. Now, you can try it if you want. If it turns out, then sorry, I'm wrong. But as far as I know, it'll get soggy. But grease the pan because it needs to be together. So, this is not made to be fried. I don't think you can stick it in the oven. Let me check on it. Maybe I should have checked on that first, but as far as I know, no, you're supposed to fry it. Dip it in the water. Okay. Now, Monday, I'm going to have a story about Scientology and the police department. And it looks like the only two places I know that have corrupt cops, even though they're not all of them, half of the LAPD is corrupt. Because one of the police officers were looking into having Danny's case be dismissed. And he was making sure that his case was dropped because he thought it was ridiculous. So not all of them are like that. So, and did they actually find out who swatted it? You know what? I doubt it. I really doubt it. I don't think they looked into it at all. All right. You're thinking, oh man, I have to dip this in oil, forget it. But no, I don't use oil all the time, and I don't deep fry everything. I just use like maybe a teaspoon of it to keep it from sticking, but I don't really officially fry anything. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Actually, I'm leaving one hand available to soak. I don't think I need to actually fill up this again, hopefully. Okay. Now having this advocacy show is just so great. And of course, you all know my profession is in acting. Did I really get paid? A couple of times. But you know what? It's a hard field to get into. I suggest if you want to get into it, go to plan B in case it doesn't work out. But you know what? There is YouTube, and if you want to tell a story, here it is. And they did not have YouTube when I first started. Now, the reason why I wanted to have the show was because I was tired of people like David Miscavige pick on people with mental illness. I'm sick of Tom Cruise and everybody in OSA picking on people who have mental defects and learning disabilities. According to William Good, if you have a disability, they want, L. Ron Hubbard just completely wants to throw everybody away like they were trash. Now, I haven't heard anything from Miss Kim, and this is the second time I text her. Now, she might be busy. I don't know. Is she joining in on the fun of actually leaving me out? No, I doubt it, because she did say to call her, but Austin, Texas is a long way from where I am. So I just text her. And I'm going to see if I can also get Club Brain Frog. Do I want Buffer Squirrel to come on my show? I don't know, because she's not putting me on the directory. And I have more views than some of the people, not all of them, some of them have more views than me. That's fine. Okay. But yeah. If they want to leave people out altogether, then I don't know what to tell you. Because if they have a whole group of people on the network, this would tell Scientology that you are not allowed to hurt people like that. We're an army. We're coming after you. So, and for the LAPD and Clearwater, maybe Denver, get on your email, write to them, overload their internet, their email, so they can be driven crazy. So they would finally do something about something. Just try it out. Let's see how it works out. Overwhelm their email. I think that's the only way we can actually do it. All righty. Let's see. This is brown. Yep, this is brown. Flip it over. This is brown. Flip it over. Flip it over. Yep, flip it over. I'm going to flip them all over. There we go. Now, yogurt. So, of course, if you're vegan, you can use the soy yogurt. I don't know if you should use usually they don't use flavored yogurt in this. Usually it's plain. But however, the original yogurt was plain. There was no flavor back in early years. But now they have flavor. Like back in maybe ancient Greece or whoever created yogurt, it was just plain. There was no flavor. So it's here. I think here they created the flavor yogurt. I think. So industries really are the ones that actually change everything around. So, okay. Alrighty. Get the next one in. So I'm leaving one hand free. Of course, it should have been my left hand, but I'm using my right hand. I'm really a righty, not a lefty. But of course, some of you are lefties, as you know. There are people who are lefties. Some people are righties. Me, I'm happy to be a righty. Okay. I think my entire family's a righty. Alrighty. Okay, we are done. So we'll put this I'm going to pull this aside. The ones that I already actually on there. So each and every time, yes. Okay. So if you actually have on a paper towel, they will soak up the oil. Okay. All right, looks like this one's done. But if you can't eat it all and you don't have any guests, just put it in your refrigerator. Now, zucchini, I would think, is usually a summer vegetable, I think. Yep, this is ready. Okay. Oh, why not? No, it's... All right. All right, there we go. Now, all right, now we are going to put, oh boy, we are really, actually, this really has so much flour on this. Of course, you use flour and you, now, of course, at the same time, since my show deals with cults, I'll be cooking and talking about the cult at the same time, so it would get on the right rank by the show. So not only I have a cult talking about cults, I actually have a cooking segment. Now, I'm not as frugal and informational as Jenna, because she knows how to garden, she rearranges flowers, she shows people how to put their makeup on. She is incredible. I hate lipstick, but the way she has her lipstick on is just incredible. All right, now. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, right. All right. Now, as you know, the infighting in this network is just ridiculous. Of course, for some odd reason, I don't know how I got in the middle of it, but, and I bet you my family's going to say, because you wanted it. No. Of course, it is okay to state your feelings every once in a while, but yeah, I ended up doing that too. And now it's given me a headache. Now, what jobs do I have? I'm not going to say whether or not I have one, so, because you know what Scientology does to actually destroy a person. That includes getting them fired for a job or prevent them from getting a job. So in this case, I'm not saying anything. So. Yep, that's what Scientology does. It's a very bitter cult. They have private investigators after everybody, and that's what one of the things they use their tax-exempt dollars on. So go to your 501k And actually, this information came from Jeff's wife in Canada. Get in touch with them and tell them why they should get their F1C 501 taken from them, of course. And then go contact by email your local Congress and ask him how they would feel about looking into the hearings on having Scientology's tax exempt status revoked. Ask them. Okay. Alrighty. Wow. My pan is all full of. Now, Jenna Sam, if you have a tip for me to have less flour in an oil when frying, tell me. Now, yeah. Now, I sent so many of my clips to SP Spot, and it looks like Buffer Squirrel is handling that. Oh, I don't know whether her or Aaron Smith Levin is conducting that, but as far as I know, it's Buffer Squirrel. So if you're having a hard time getting on and you know you're doing well, contact her, because yeah, it's am I being bitter about it? I don't think so. I'm just saying it like it is. All right. Okay. Put this one over. Hopefully when Sam announces it, if he's cooking, how to get rid of flour while frying, then now, as you know, Scientology's downfall is the internet. Because all that truth is out, and it's due because of the internet. We all know that. So, and yeah, I'm trying to figure out what makes them think nobody's going to find out what they're doing if the internet is around. But all right, there we go. All right. Of course, I won't. It looks like I won't have to put any more oil on it. Now, in case there's a grease fire, take a lid, pop it on, and it'll get rid of the flames. Don't put it in water because it'll just spread. Okay. All right. Now you're going to pat your zucchini down with the paper towel to soak up all the oil that's in there. All right. Now, if you want, you can actually make it into a sandwich, and it'll definitely, okay. All right. Right hand turn. Okay. All right. Looks like I'm gonna put these over here. Of course. Yeah, I finally learned the whole drill on how to present everything on the internet. Now the writings, yeah, I'm gonna have to learn to do that. Okay, let me see here. Let's see if these are ready. Yep, here it is. Okay. Now it looks like the only way anyone could be in existence in the SPTV community is by being on a directory. And it looks like they're not doing it for everybody. But what can you do? Yeah. Yeah, well, we should just get in touch with Buffer Squirrel because it looks like she's the one that puts people on. Am I making a big deal out of it? Maybe. But am I being bitter? No. Okay. Alrighty. Now to put, but you know what? It might be a possibility that Sam would tell me that to shake it off and then put it in the pan. Well, hello, Green Glass. How you doing today? All right. Now, Green Glass, everybody that's popping on. Now, I am cooking fried zucchini today, and it's my mother's recipe. Now, I don't fry anything that often, but on occasion I do. So, here's the recipe. 1 cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You're gonna need 2 zucchinis, or unless you have company, then you have to probably add another additional flour, depending what it is, but usually 1 cup of flour. And then frying pan, of course you're gonna need, and 1/2 cup of olive oil. That's what I cook with because it has antioxidants in it. And it is okay for you, but only if you have it on occasion. Just like chocolate, dark chocolate is enriched with antioxidants, but you can only have it on occasions. It doesn't mean you should eat it every day. No, of course not. All right. And then you need a half a cup of water to dip your zucchini in. Okay. All right. What else is there in the news? All right. It's been a while since Confident Chris was on. I don't know what happened to him. So what about you? Do you guys know what happened to Confident Chris? Do you? Oh, no, you're fine. So I just recite the recipe: 1 cup flour, and you need a plate to dip everything in. 1 cup flour, 1/4 teaspoon salt, half a cup of water, 2 zucchinis, and you cut them up in wedges like this. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, who else is there? Okay, it's all right. Now get in touch with Buffer Squirrel and say, you need to put some of these people on. They are worthy of the cause, and I have good information on my infos at the link down below, at the comments down below. Now, why isn't anyone responded to it? I don't know, but touch with Buffer Squirrel and say, have some of these people on, because they are fighting the same cause. And Scientology will know they're outnumbered when more people are on it. So, yeah, and I like Green Glasses. I got a great show, but since I'm not on the directory, no, Buffer Squirrel doesn't want me. All right, and I keep sending her my clip to her, but she doesn't want to do anything. I don't know if she's busy or she just doesn't want me. I don't know her situation either, to be honest. But all right. Am I being bitter? I don't think I am. Am I dwelling on it so much? You know what? That's a possibility. So, and all right, there we go. Now let's see if these are ready to flip over. Oh no. Yeah. My pan is so covered with flour since I've been dipping it so much in flour. I bet you Sam's going to tell me to shake off the flour, but since I use oil, water, I don't know if that's possible. But at the same time, I don't think I need to put more oil in at the same time. Oh, let me show you my finished product, Green Glass. This is what it looks like. What do you think? Okay. So, now I am not as frugal as Jenna or Sam. And Jenna Miscavige is the Martha Stewart of the former Scientology world. She knows how to rearrange flowers. She does a lot of gardening. She's the cook. She actually knows how to bake. Well, so do I, but I haven't been doing too many baking lately. Let's see what comments there are. Looks good too. Oh, well, thank you. All right. Now, all right. Of course, looks like usually I'm on at 4 o'clock, but 2 times in a row, I was actually doing my live at 7. And of course, I guess it's when you guys come on. So I guess I'll go on 7 until further notice. But I am almost there. Okay. Now, what else is there to talk about? Okay. Now, this coming Monday, I will have a piece on Scientology in Clearwater, Florida, and the LAPD. Of course, not every one of their cops want to do what the other half does. But yeah, there are police officers that are out there who are correct. Yes, it can shock and surprise you at the same time, but it is what it is. Do we like it? No, we don't. We want the police officers to actually follow the laws that they enforce. Now, they are showing so much bias against Scientology, all because it's a celebrity and they know how to get some of the people in the LAPD, including the detectives, to look the other way. Now, I tried to actually speak at the commissioner's board in Los Angeles, but they refused to actually let some of these people on due to the fact they're not following their own rules. And I haven't been to the public works meeting since I got hacked. I'm trying to get back into it, but I haven't seen it. And I thought since Rami Mona didn't actually do it, I usually got on through her link. And maybe I should actually, even though there are not too many Scientologists from where I am, with the information that I looked up, last I checked, in 2012 information, according to that information, there are only 13 Scientologists in the state that I'm in. So I'll check it again, but it does look like it's like that. But the main location of all those Scientologists are in either Los Angeles, a good portion of them are in Los Angeles and in Florida. Okay, there. All right. There's so much flour in this. But at the same time, I don't think I would have to. All right, done. Let me see here. Now, as you know, I know I'm repeating myself, but since you got on, some of you got on, this is actually served with plain yogurt. You dip it in the yogurt and you eat it. That's the way it is. And this is an Armenian recipe. All right. But you know what? It's cooking pretty well. I don't think I'm going to put any more oil in it. So, all right. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, man. All right. Look at all the flour that's in my pan. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to put any more. Get it? Okay. I think the oil that's already in there is going to fry it anyway. So, all right. Now, am I actually trying it out first before going live with a recipe? No. I am sorry keeping my fingers crossed and doing this because I look in a recipe on the internet and see it, but then have to readjust it by a half cup less or a half cup more to avoid copyright infringements. I don't want to be sued, so of course, depending how much it is, I'm either going to add 1/2 or 1/4, whatever, to readjust the recipe. Alrighty, so now, okay, I got a few more left. Now, of course, you know what happened to Aaron Smith Levin a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it is horrible what they did to him. They come out, dump water on the protesters, and then the Scientologist that had the mask on claimed he couldn't breathe. Now, Pharaoh Schill brought up an excellent point. If you're trying to breathe, why would you be wearing the mask? Is he faking it? It's possible. He should just take off that mask and try and breathe. But she said that he had his mask on. Now, I didn't see it because he wasn't on it. But she said that she still had his mask on when he claimed he was trying to breathe. Of course, the paramedics took him to the hospital. So that's what she said. That information came from her. I believe her because with Scientologist history, they have a history of lying. So I tend to think another way. All right. All right. It looks like it's cooking pretty well. All right. Now, when I was growing up and my mother made this, did she actually put more oil in there? Possibly, I don't know. Get tavern to be hostile that yeah, well, all righty. So tell more of your friends. And I'll actually send more clips over to Buffer Squirrel. I am almost done. And what else is there? Yeah. Don't you miss Natalie? Oh my gosh, do I miss her. She used to be on every day, but her job has her in different schedules, so it's been a while. So all right, we're almost done here. Now, should I make anything else? I don't have anything else in mind. Okay, it's been an hour and 30 minutes that I've been on. So let's see what else is there. Let's see. Of course, you know, they did a hate site on Laura FM. They got her father talking hate against his own daughter. Unbelievable. So I'm not going to tell anyone what to do, but guess what? I went on that site, gave it a thumbs down. Now follow the lead, go on there, give it a thumbs down to let them know that that is not acceptable. And maybe a little bit comment, but if you don't want to do it, that's fine. And yeah. And out of all days, they did it on Father's Day. No way. And he said that she cut herself off from the family, which is not true. According to Aaron Smith Levin, she was talking to her brother. So I believe him. I would believe whoever's not in Scientology and out of Scientology, because Scientology has a history of lying. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay. Looks like it. It's all flowered up. So. All right, it's okay. Yeah, my pan is all flowered up. But, all right. Okay. Brush this over here and get the last bit. There, let me see here. Okay, let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay, there we go. That's all of it. And it looks like it's done. So, okay, there we are. All righty. So I'm going to be on at 4:45 tomorrow. No, wait a minute. Tomorrow's brunch day, so I'll be on 10 o'clock. Okay. I will be cooking brunch, and it's the link that has my bread on it. That's my thumbnail for tomorrow. I have bread. I have the thumbnail. Okay, there it is. All right, that should do it. Let's see. Is there anything else? Sorry. No, I don't. It doesn't look like it. Now, all right. Okay. Okay. Maybe I should put just a little bit more oil in. So, okay, that should do it. Okay, I'm not going to put any more in. Of course, I think this is the way my mother did it. So, all right, we're going to put these in. I am now at 190 views. Okay. All right. Got caked up flour on my fingertips, of course. Now, let's see. All right. Now, okie dokie. Okay. Well, it's done. These are still cooking up. All right. And what else has been going on in the Scientology world? Of course, I've done a piece on Jehovah's Witnesses. And of course, they don't want to admit they're a cult. They think they're not a cult. But due to the fact that so many of their former members came forward about the abuse, we're going to have to think otherwise. So, yeah. Cruel world, isn't it? So, and of course, Marilyn Horney, I hope I Horney, I think that's her name, had a piece on the Zizidian cult, a vegan cult. All right. Okay. All right. Now, as you know, Scientology, as you know, is against psychiatry, and it's due to their fact, of course, I mention it all the time, that L. Ron Hubbard had a beef with psychiatry, and that's why the members are against psychiatry, and it's because due to the fact that he had a problem with it, because guess what? Where did I get the information? I think it was Aaron Smith Levin. He said he was laughed right out of the room because of that stupid e-meter. So, and a lot of people died from that mental illness. Of course, you know, Kyle Brennan's father locked his medication in the back of his car, and he died from a gunshot. Tragic. Yeah. Well, is it due to the fact that he was on medication and they didn't like it? Well, guess what? They're not a professional. They never should have done what they did. And they don't think auditing anything is going to make anything go away. If they want anything to go away, they should see a mental health professional or a doctor. But instead, they take it upon themselves to do whatever it is they do. And look what happened to Kirstie Alley. She died of stage 4 cancer. And it's because they wouldn't let her go to the doctor. And it was, by the time she got there, it was too late. It spread. And that caused her death. Unbelievable how these people operate. And of course, you know, Christian Science. Founder was a woman, and I think she had mental illness. She had a crib built for her, and she actually slept in it with a blanket and had somebody rock her. Right there, mental illness. And of course, when you're in Jehovah's Witnesses, they're against blood transfusion. You can't get a blood transfusion when you're in Jehovah's Witnesses. And a lot of people died from that. So I used to know a couple of Jehovah's Witnesses. One talked so much she wouldn't shut up. And the other one didn't really talk about it because, of course, we're not allowed to talk about religion, but she chose to. So she could have cared less what anyone was telling her. So she just went ahead and did it. Okay. And I shut it off. Okay, so these are gonna finish up. I actually shut off the heat. I don't know why. Those aren't done yet. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was gonna make stuffed vegetables, but I didn't really feel like it, so I just decided to do this. Okay. Okay. And what else is there? Okay. There it is. Alrighty. Let's see, what else should I talk about instead of having all this dead air? Let me think here. Okay. Now, yeah, I already told you about Club Brain Frog, where she had a collision. Well, not collision. A sandwich board fell on her. She told the people that were in there that the sandwich board fell on her. They got cocky about it. One of them actually said, "Had a nice day." Yeah, they got cocky about it. But then eventually, well, after she went in, well, not totally all the way in, she told them, they got cocky. She went back to her spot. They actually let it sit there. I mean, it was a real hazard. Somebody can walk by and just trip over it, break an ankle, break a leg, whatever. They just didn't care. And then finally, one of them came out and took it. All right, here it is. Finally. All righty, that should do it. And thank you for coming on. Just tell more of your friends. All right. Now, okay. Now, looks like we reached the end, and it's been about almost a couple of hours. So I'm going to actually finish off with these. And we all know that Ozzy Osbourne passed away a couple of weeks ago. And they did stories on him. And of course, Lonnie Anderson also passed away. What was the medical condition? I don't know about what it was. And of course, you know that Leslie, I forgot her last name, but she was from General Hospital. She played Monica Quartermain. She passed away. And she was on it since, I think, 1970, when she replaced the original Monica Quartermain, but she's been on it ever since. Okay. Yeah, I shut it off because this oven just cooks fast. All right, so then we're going to put this on. All right. Now, all right, we're going to soak up the oil. Oh, some of them burnt up, but you know what? The rest is fine. So now put it on medium heat and then cook it. All right, and as you know, when you come out of the cult, you're going to have the survival, and one of them is actually eating. And that's another way, another survival technique that I want to show, since I don't have much to give, since I'm more soft too. So I just decided to actually give people recipes live. So, well, that should do it. So hit the like, press subscribe, and I will see you next time.